I don't know if anybody can see me or not. Let's refresh the page here. Is anybody seeing me yet? I don't see it. It's maybe taking a second. Well, am I on, guys? Well, it looks like it's coming up now. There's an ad. I'll skip out of that. There we are. Well, I'm going to turn the volume down because I can hear myself talking. Well, guys, I haven't done a live stream in quite a while, and Troy, if you're still on, I'm drinking a Homestead Brewing Company out of Heath, Ohio. Their sun-kissed wheat, which I really enjoy on a warm summer evening. The DDZ Project, happy birthday. There's Troy, here we go. Lance Phillip, hey, thanks, happy birthday to me. I appreciate it, guys. Old Man Zombie, thanks for the invite. Hey, you know, it's one of those type of things that I really, really do enjoy doing these live streams. I just haven't done one in a while, ever since I had the computer issues. So what I thought I would do for my special little birthday celebration here, I know it's kind of narcissistic, but I see other YouTubers doing it, so that's why I wanted to try it as well too. But can everybody hear me and see me okay? Like I say, I'm using my phone, and wasn't sure how it was going to work out. Maddie says I need to visit and try some decent Kiwi beers. None of that watery U.S. stuff. Well, some of the stuff is watery. There's no doubt about it. Like the Budweiser. I mean, who drinks Budweiser anyways? Nobody I know. We ride Harleys and Hemis. We don't drink Bud Light, maybe. Maddie says we're coming through fine. Lance says he received his shirts. Hey, thank you, Lance, for being a. I think you're a Patreon as well too, and that really means a lot. I'll tell you, the Patreon and of course super chats and super stickers and the new super thanks, all those things mean so much to the channel. You know, being a chef, it's one of those type of things. I'm not going to cry the blues or anything, but you know, I have to work. So it's one of those type of things when you get something like that to help, in particular on birthday times, it really, really makes a difference. And I've got quite a few things to talk about today, not only with the yeah, I know, Troy. Harleys and Hemis and no Budweiser. I mean, who would drink that stuff anyways? Oh, children. Craig says Aussie beer is the best. You know what? All the beers except for Budweiser. Budweiser is the Honda of beers. I want to get somebody on that. If Sandy Simons is watching, she'll get a kick out of that too. But no, I actually had a Honda or two in my past, and it is what it is. But I like to joke around a little bit about that kind of stuff. But do have some exciting news besides the birthday. Tomorrow's my actual birthday, but I wanted to do this today because I knew some people would be off work and we'd be able to see it instead of doing the 8 a.m. thing I normally do. So we wanted to do it at 8 p.m. Maybe a few more people can get in and watch and listen to some of the jibber jabber that I have to say. But I do have some exciting news coming up, and if you notice, I've got some sunglasses on my hat, and there's a reason for that. We're going to be doing partnering with a company called Maxx Eyewear and Piranha Eyewear. Now, I've been wearing the Piranha for several years, and I really like them. They're El Inexpensivo, if that's a term. Any of you Spanish speakers out there? Jordan's on. Hey, Jordan, what's happening? Well, shit, might have to crack open in October. Yeah, we're drinking beer tonight, guys. So definitely crack open an Oktoberfest. But Itchy Boots and Riley's drinks Hondas. Yeah, I know she does. Marshall says, hey, man, do you think you could do a valve check video on the Himalayan? You know, I was going to, and then I was informed that it might be something that I probably shouldn't do, should let a technician do it, but I can't get one to actually work with me. The reason why I say that is because I don't know how everybody's abilities are. And when you start talking about something that could cause a catastrophic failure in your engine, I'm a little hesitant. Now, I've already done one in mine. It's super simple, but I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Maybe you guys can let me know. I mean, it's one of those type of things that I know I get people asked about it all the time, and it's really, really easy to do. But if you screw it up, your engine's fried, baby. And I don't want to be responsible for people who aren't really, what do you call it, tool savvy to get in there and mess around. Adjusting your clutch is one thing, but doing a valve adjustment, that may be something that's not up to snuff, if you know what I mean. Little Fireball's New Life Journey. Hey, thank you for the happy birthday. I appreciate it very, very much. Again, Old Man Ronin's turning 63 tomorrow. Yikes. But again, we wanted to make sure we share it with all our friends. Drinking Hemis, talking Harleys, drinking beer, and just enjoying the Old Man Ronin crew worldwide. And I'll tell you, I'm actually going to develop a T-shirt here in the next couple weeks. The T-shirts have been selling very well, not great, but very well. But we're going to do some worldwide, because we've got a couple Kiwis and also Aussies on the channel right now, or on the live stream right now, and but we're in Germany, we're in Italy, we're in South America, all over the place, and it's in the Middle East. It makes me so happy to have such a worldwide outreach. And Maddie says, when does the pension kick in? There's no such thing for that for me. I'm a chef, man, and we got to work till we die. I mean, ideally, this is my plan. I've been cooking in restaurants and stuff since I was 11 years old. So that kind of tells you how long I've been in the kitchen. I've done other stuff as well, too. Ohio Moto Nerd says, happy birthday. Hey, thank you. Paul, he's in the Netherlands, correct? Thank you for joining, Paul. I know it's really late out there, isn't it? Or do you guts and just live in the cardboard box? Well, I don't know about that, but what I have to do is, since I have a food truck and things, you can get Social Security, I guess, when you retire, but that doesn't really mean to anything. Really, Social Security is not a retirement. Hey, Raza, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll probably work, and my goal is to turn this YouTube channel into, if I can get, thousands more subscribers, and turn it into something I can use as a form of retirement, because that's my goal. That's one of the reasons why I started the channel last year, is because I really, really, really think this will be a way that I can not only entertain and inform people like I've been doing pretty much my entire life, whether it's been through cooking or bass fishing or motorcycles. It's one of the things I want to do. And the only way I can do it is with you guys' support, either by views or by Patreon or by super chats or super stickers or, the new super thanks. And I feel pretty blessed. Hey, Thor, thank you. I appreciate it for the happy birthday wishes. I know, Thor, you're in Denmark or Netherlands. I can't remember. You can tell me here. But yeah, it's one of those type of things that I really want to take this and make it into until I possibly can't ride anymore, which I doubt if that'll ever happen. Norway, that's it. I couldn't remember. Sorry about that, Thor. Didn't mean to send a different direction. Retake, very happy birthday, old man. There you go. Partha Roy says happy birthday. Partha, hey, I've not recognized you on the channel before, so welcome. I appreciate you being here. And like I said, it's one of those type of things that we're really excited about. Some of the new partnerships we're forming, not only with the friends and worldwide, especially here in America, but also worldwide. No pension for farmers either. Exactly. Can't ride, get a trike. Man, that would be I'm not knocking them, because if I can't, that's what I would do. Because that's what it would be. He's looking younger every day. It must be the Harley owner belly pulling the wrinkles off his face. No, I never hit anybody, Maddie, not on purpose. But I am getting old, so I might do it accidentally. Well, I tell you, I really enjoy a good wheat beer in the summertime, and this company, Homestead Brewing, makes a really good one. And like I say, they're located just outside of Heath, Ohio, over by a Boeing aerospace plant, which is exciting. Explore the third planet. Happy birthday. Thank you. Life's Fireball says, please hit the like button. So much thanks. I don't know why that came up as a hide or not, but I appreciate it. Jordan Ray says that sun-kissed wheat. Yeah, that's exactly it, man. I really, really do enjoy it. They have quite a few good beers there. I mean, I love going to craft breweries and wineries. And I've done mostly wineries so far, but we're going to be starting to do some more brewery stuff. We got a lot of breweries in this area. Um, and Jordan, thank you. Hey, have you had it lately, man? I mean, it's I mean, I miss you guys coming to Homestead when I put the food truck there. You and Jess, and you guys. When she's back in town, you guys need to come out on Wednesday or whatever. Raza says thank you, happy birthday, I appreciate it. Like I said, this is a road trip. There you go. But we really do enjoy going to these different places like the breweries and the wineries. It's just something that we really enjoy doing. Farmer Troy says he loves wheat beer, cracking open a new one now. Oberlin American Wheat Double Cheers. There you go, man. Cheers. And everybody, drink. Hogarden from Belgium had it quite a bit. It's really good. I love the European styles as well too. One of my favorite of all beers is a Farmhouse Saison, and there's a couple companies that are making some really nice ones. The best one I've ever had in America is from a brewery up in Delaware, Ohio called Stoss Brewing Company, and they do a fantastic job with their Farmhouse Saison. I really, really do enjoy it. It's got that nice aromatics that just hit me on every note. I really do like it. Like I say, with being a chef and being in the restaurant business, my palate is pretty extensive. I guess that's why I don't drink Budweiser, because I mean, but it's one of those things I like, specialty things, and I love really good fine wine, which is near impossible to find in Ohio. You can get it, from out of state, obviously, from California or from Oregon or from Washington, or of course France and Chile and Australia and Argentina, and all the places that have the right climate for it. Matty B says just don't meet. Again, Coors is Budweiser West. It's just not me. If I'm drinking a mass-produced beer, it'll be two versions, and I've been drinking them my whole life. Rolling Rock, I know, and Pabst PBR, baby. I love them. I'll drink some Blatz once in a while and some Schlitz when you can find it. Old Man Zombies in Spain. There you go. Exactly, and I forgot. I apologize. There's some fantastic wines in Spain as well too, and the key is the rough climate, and I mean rough climate meaning that this is a thing that I had learned a long time ago in the food industry is you cannot, because food and wine, and beer, they all go together, but you cannot have a high quality dry wine where you grow corn. I know I'm going to make a lot of the Ohio wineries mad, but that's just the way it is. You cannot do it. You can grow a lot of the sweet stuff, and that's great. It's not my favorite, but we do drink it when we're in Ohio, which we're in Ohio. Very good selection from Spain. Maddie says, at least you guys can spell beer. The Aussies put triple X on their cars. Okay, probably some cans. Lance says Yingling is my favorite. That's cool, Lance. You drink whatever you like. It's like, except, not Budweiser. My dad loved Rolling Rock and Pony Bottles. Well, you know what? It's one of Iron Lady's favorite little tiny little secrets we don't tell too many people. She drinks Little Kings, little cream ales, and we have them always. So it's one of those type of things that we have around the house all the time. And of course, Razasik and Wild Turkey. Now, if we're going to get into bourbons, and we will do that down the road too, because we're a next door neighbor to Kentucky, where they do pretty much the best bourbon in the world. See, Little Fireball's New Life Journey says, I subscribe to you and thanks to her two Wills and Jordan eating your truck one day. I'll tell you, yeah, they like I said, they come to they've been there a couple times, and we really appreciate them not only as friends, but also giving us some promotion out there. Craig says, forget Foster's crap beer. Again, we're not going to talk bad about any other beer except for Budweiser. Like I said, Budweiser is the Honda of beer. Pump Wizard says, get out of commercial beer. Schlitzen are decent. PBR is good pizza beer. Yeah, and that's what I mean. I mean, it's like you got to have something that we call it the everyday drinking beer. It's like your everyday whiskey for me is a Bullet. And I once in a while, I'll tell you what, I found this really cool. Let me try to think of the name off the top of my head. Hey, Jordan, thank you. I appreciate that. He just said the food is so damn good. Y'all just don't know. I really appreciate that. There's a Black Velvet, and it's a really cheap whiskey. It's a Canadian whiskey, but they have a reserve that for $12 is as good as any $20 bottle of whiskey. It's I really do enjoy it. Makers want, yeah. Hey, we're cruising into the bourbons right now. That's fantastic. Like single malt. Yeah, I do too. I'm a big fan. I'll tell you what. There's a blended whiskey that I started drinking here about a year ago. It's when they really hit Ohio. It's called Monkey Shoulder, and for a blended Scotch, it's pretty daggone good. They advertise it as a mixer, which pretty much blended ones. There's some really great blended ones in Scotland, but for here you could be able to get it. It's pretty tasty. I really do enjoy. Thanks, Jordan. I appreciate that, man. I really do. Glenmore, yeah. Like I say, you get any of the scotches. I'm a big Islay or Islay, however you want to pronounce it. I love the peat, so I drink a lot of the Ardbeg and the some of the other Isleys as well too. I really do enjoy that peaty, smoky stuff. Love to shake that, man. Well, get to Ohio, baby. I want to do something in the future, and I don't know if it'll be this year or next year coming up, but I want to do like a Ronin retreat where we all kind of get together and camp out and have a good time and drink some beers and some whiskeys and some wine and sit around a fire and just have a good time. I think that's going to be something we're going to do, and hopefully we can give enough notice that if some folks want to come over from overseas and join us, that'd be fantastic. Buffalo Trace is great. I mean, they make almost everything. There's only a few really, and there's some independent distillers down there, but there's only really a few big ones, and and Buffalo Trace turns out pretty much everything. Zombie says, "Hell yeah, I'm in." I mean, that's the kind of thing that I like to do. I mean, I used to do a lot of the rallies back when I was younger, and people say, "Why aren't you at Sturgis? Why didn't you go to Sturgis?" Well, I've been there like 10 or 12 times, and to be honest with you, I don't like the big crowds like that. I like a small select group of people to get and hang around with, and I think that's something to be more fun, is to have like-minded people that just want to have a good time, and you're not out trying to prove anything, and no wheelies going down the road. The whole idea is just getting together and enjoying each other's company, and that's really what I want to do. And like I say, it's something I'm planning on. Maybe not this year anymore because it's getting kind of late, but next year putting together like a little Ronin retreat. And like I say, we'll have some campsites available close, and then we'll do some riding. And in the afternoon and the evenings, come back and just sit around the fire and enjoy some stories, man. Because I've got a crap load. As long as it ain't rye, I'm pretty good. Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, and I say that, it's kind of funny because things are different now than when I was a kid. You could buy a 3.2 beer when you were 18, and to be honest with you, nobody gave a crap anyways before that. We would go in and buy liquor, and we'd get the rye whiskey that had the little rock candy in the bottle. I don't really think they're around anymore. I have not seen it, but we used to go to the Amish markets and get the rock candy on a stick and then put it down in our rye whiskey and drink that when we were kids. That and Two Fingers tequila or El Toro. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm showing a little bit of my age here, but when I was a kid, besides riding motorcycles, I had a 71 Le Mans T37. And I had that thing built. It had a six-pack, which if you guys aren't familiar with American muscle cars, it has 3 two-barrel carburetors instead of a big 4-barrel on the top. And I used to have a lot of fun in that. And I remember one day my dad, he goes, "I need to get that something out of your trunk." I go, and I'm 16, right? And he opens the trunk, and there's literally hundreds of the little red sombreros on the top of an El Toro tequila. He just went and shut it back. Yeah, I was the guy that always had the booze when I was a kid. Let's see. Farmer Troy says, "When I was a kid, we drank Bartles and James wine coolers." Well, you're sophisticated, Troy. I'm not. I'm just a poor old country boy who likes to drink whiskey and tequila and beer. Little Fireballs said, "We'd love to taste food, but I'm in Texas." Well, road trips, they're... it's not that far. I've ridden through Texas a lot in my day. I used to run down. I had friends that lived in San Antonio, and I used to run down there all the time. And in fact, to my mom's when I was younger, I had a couple boys really early. I mean, really early. I was 17 and 18 years old when I had my first. And what what I would do is I'd say, "Mom, I got the itch," and I was by myself raising two boys. With I shouldn't say that. My mom helped me raise them, but I used to take off on a trip. I'd say I need to get away, and I'd just jump on a motorcycle and be back in a week or so. And I really did enjoy doing that. I haven't done stuff like that in a while, and I'm getting the itch again. And I say in a while. In 2013, here's a little intimate story. In 2013, I had a really bad accident, not on a motorcycle, but it put me off work from 2013 to 2017. They had to rebuild my leg, and it was a mess. It's one of those type of things, but I don't talk about that too much. But so since 2013, I haven't had a chance to just jump on a motorcycle and just take off because I've been working like crazy since 2017, trying to rebuild money that I didn't have because I didn't have insurance, and so we paid everything. We, meaning me, paid everything I possibly had to get myself in shape. Let's see. Maddie says, hopefully be back on a Hemi soon. It's in the shop getting a new regulator as it stopped charging. Yeah, I'm hearing. What year is yours, Maddie? Let's see. Half the trip is just getting out of Texas. That's funny. Craig says, how about a visit for lunch only a few thousand miles from Australia? Yeah, it'll be rough. You know, you throttle up, come up for air, throttle up again, come up for air. It'll be a little bit difficult getting from Australia to Hawaii. Let's see. Maddie said, hopefully I'll be back. Hey, Jimmy Pat Day. Happy birthday. Hey, thanks. I would appreciate that. I want to say thank you for your videos. I bought Himalayan because of your videos and loving it. Thank you for introducing me to my new love. And Maddie's is a 2021. You know, there's people asked me before. They said, Royal Enfield doesn't have a great reputation. I don't see that. One of the things I like to tell people is I bought a Triumph a few years back, and I had more issues with that thing. I mean, it was literally a piece of crap. I don't blame Triumph for that. Once in a while, I always say anything made by man can screw up, and so when you have issues with motorcycles or whatever, don't really take it out on the brand. Just figure out what it is, and maybe you need to sell that one and get another one. Craig says maybe a jet ski conversion for the Hemi. There you go. Well, we're going to take another drink, guys. Cheers. But I want to talk a little bit more before we get too far off subject about these glasses, these Maxx, and there's going to be a link down in the description of this video when we're done, where we're talking about, we're going to give away a bunch. And how we're going to do it is, I don't know, have any of you guys noticed the Notice little logo that I put down in the corner? It'll be, you can't see it, but it'll be usually down here. It'll say Ol Man Ronin, kind of like my little watermark. Well, for the last couple of weeks, I've been messing with you because sometimes it'll say, if you notice this, contact me. And I get a few people that do. And when you do notice that and they say, hey, I noticed that, I tell them to send me their email address and I'll send them a free sticker. And I've probably given away about 20 stickers in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I sell stickers as well too, but it's only up for a short period of time, and I want people to notice. Well, over the next several weeks, we're going to start it in September, I guess. But over the next several weeks, we're going to be putting, and you guys are on the live stream. I'm not telling anybody on the video. But you guys on the live stream are going to get that little preview, and you're going to see a little skull down there with sunglasses on it. So if you notice this, contact me. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick people out of those notices, and we're going to send them a free pack of these, Maxx motorcycle glasses. And these things are built for motorcycles. They make clears. They make with a little foam to keep the air going around your eyes in case you're wearing contacts. They're impact resistant. They're scratch resistant. They're not that expensive. If you want to buy a pair like I've got on right now, and this is a pair that I'll be going to give away. They're under $30. I think Amazon's selling for like $20 to $25. I don't know. Don't quote me exactly. I don't know. But they got in touch with me because their sister company, which is Piranha, I've been wearing for a long time. But these things here are built specifically for motorcycle riders. They're inexpensive, and I'll tell you what, I absolutely love them. I've been riding them now all summer. And in fact, when you see me with sunglasses on, they're either the Piranhas or the Maxx Eyewear. And like I say, in this description, you can go down and it'll describe a little bit about what we're planning on doing. But we're going to be giving some away to folks here on the site. Now, I don't get anything from it other than a couple pair of sunglasses, but that's not what I'm trying to do. My website is, our YouTube channel is all about trying to entertain and inform and give back to the community too. In the way that I get paid a return investment out of it, it's not from companies, but from you guys hitting the like button and subscribing, and down here the little dollar sign sending me a super chat or a super sticker, or when the video and the premiere is all over already, then hitting that super thanks button. All those ways help build the channel. And like I said, in a year, we've got 9,000. I'm kind of hoping that we'll hit 10,000 here in the next couple of. I've been averaging about 500 a month, and hopefully by the end of October we'll have our 10,000, and then we can start growing even faster. I do not know that, Craig, but if you go down to the website that's listed in this description below, there is you can go straight to the website, and that's a question for them. I don't want to speak for them because I do not know, and I'm not sure about the photochromic lenses as well either. That's something that you can contact the company with. And like I say, they're both addresses are on there. Both Piranha, which is more of their really inexpensive glasses. They're great. I love them. But they're Maxx Eyewear, which is built specifically for motorcycles, but they do have other. I mean, they have golf series, they have a fishing series, they have lots of different series, and then for the ladies, they have a fashion series as well too. So it's not just for motorcycle guys and gals; it's also sunglasses line that goes through the entire range of anything anybody would ever wear. Well, and Powell says, "Good day from down under." Are you in Australia or are you in New Zealand, there, Powell? I guess how do you say it? Powell? P-A-W-E-L? Pump Wizard said, when I was in HS, it was quantity over quality. Milwaukee's best, Meisterbrow. Oh, high school. Okay. Peel's Old Milwaukee. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, I did the same thing. But back then, I was drinking PBR and Rolling Rock, even back then. Those are my beers, man. I always liked them. Yeah, exactly. Sydney, Australia. Gotcha. I don't know if Iron Lady's around. She said she may stop in and say, hey, guys like when she pops in once in a while and gives me crap, because she surely does. You know what? It's one of the things that I always love. If you're a pushover, I've got a speak of the devil. We've got some visitors, guys. Hey, everybody. Step in back behind. You got to slide in.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
There she is. There's Iron Lady. We got our kid here too. Come here, kid. I don't know if you can pop up here. Come here, Russ. Over here. Where you at? Come on. Come on up here. Up. Can you see? Look at that. Look at the TV. There's Rusty, guys. There he is. Oh.
Birthday kisses.
He wants beer. No, not that. I'll get in trouble.
Thanks everyone for joining us for Old Man Ronin's birthday. I have my adult beverage, my purple juice here.
Well, that's all good. Yeah, she's got priorities right, Ryan. Jordan says, hey. Cheers, Iron Lady and Rusty. Yeah, Rusty just gave me a big slob right on the face there, and that's always fun. He's a good dog, man. I'll tell you what. I say I had retrievers most of my life, and but he's a Springer, and man, he's smartest, orneriest, daggone dog ever. And it's kind of like what I was getting ready to say. I like people that kind of grab me, give me a little crap back, because if you're a pushover, I like somebody that entertains me, and that lady does. She gives me the what for all the time. Thank you, Thor. And Carrie, Troy says hi to Rusty and you. Well, thank you. We do a field cut on him every year because it gets hot as blazes here and humid in this part of Ohio, and so we we give him a field cut, which takes a lot of that long hair off it, because he's actually a bench springer, and got beautiful long hair that's just way too hard to take care of. So we trim him up really nice, and like I say, but a smart dog, man, super intelligent, ornery as can be. Oh, she's shed back to you, Troy. So you got it. So can tell by how big your smile is. Yeah, it is what it is. Between doing the things that I love, which is my cooking, and of course, I haven't been bass fishing like I used to, obviously, because I did it for a living for 10, 15 years. But and motorcycles, man, that is one of the things that I just love to talk about and share my experiences. Jordan, I don't know if Jess told you this, but when I just was starting to decide the channel, we were going to do things a little different. In fact, I have the name, and I still have the channel. It's called Our Life on Two Wheels, and it's because we've been on motorcycles since we've been together. And I was going to do that, but the more I thought about it, I wanted to do something that I could, because Life on Two Wheels, I don't know. We decided against it. I still have the channel. I really haven't done anything with it for 2 years or 3 years now. But I started talking to Jess. I just sent her a message, and she sent back. She goes, and I think what she said was, as much experience as you have on your channel should be pretty good. And I don't do the daily vlog that a lot of people do, and I'm thinking about starting to do something like that. I don't know. My niche has been, when I first started, I didn't have a Himalayan. I just had a Harleys. I think I had a Triumph at that time too. I'm not sure. Might have had a Triumph. Anyway. Yeah, I did. I had a Triumph when I first started. I think on Our Life on Two Wheels, there's a couple pictures of the very first video I did was up in Mohican State Park, and we were riding a Triumph, and it was a lot of fun. We really, really had a good time. Andy says, today was brutal. Rode early and enjoyed the rest of the day inside with the air conditioning. Well, I was trimming trails, so I was sweating my bejesus off because it was hot. You're right, it was hot, and I was out cutting logs down because we've had a lot of rain, and we have a tremendous amount of ash borer damage on some of the woods that we have around here. And so basically what I decided to do was go out and knock some of the trails down, increase the campsites a little bit. If you've seen that Instagram thing, I was walking around and showing you where I set up my game cameras to film the deer and the turkey, and it's such a beautiful area, and it's so pretty. And so, but yeah, you got to keep that stuff cut down. Let's see. Old Man Ronin says couldn't ride Hurricane Henry, squashed that. I'm telling you, well, we get the rain, we don't get the high winds, but we get tornadoes. But luckily, I'm in hill country, so the tornadoes aren't as big a factor as it is out the western part of Ohio. Let's see. Let's catch up. I did that. I just did my name, so I wasn't pigeonholed. Hard to say. I'll do next time. And that's cool. That's one of the things that because I know you do a lot of your race car stuff, your motorcycle stuff. I love that. The color, if you guys haven't checked out Jordan's page, he built a scrambler out of a Sportster. And I'm not sure, you can tell me, Jordan, the year, I can't remember what you said, but it was an original color, and this is beautiful. It reminds me of the old Roadsters when they first came out. They had that, or the XRs. They were just beautiful colorations that Harley came up with. But like I said, he does a lot of different things. He does cars. He does his motorcycle stuff as well. Plus, hanging out with her two wheels. I mean, that's entertaining enough, isn't it? Maddie says, big difference between a Triumph and a Hemi. Triumph owners must tighten their nuts down. It's not leaking. So, yeah, you say that about everything. I tighten stuff constantly because I grew up on Harley Davidson. So, again, big V twins that have a long stroke and a low RPM seem to have a tendency to vibrate. My 2001 Road King will sit there and it'll shake you to death when you're sitting in idle. I love it. That's me though, baby. But yeah, you got to check. And in fact, I have a earlier video called things you need to tighten right now on your touring edition. And when you're talking about thumpers, which are single cylinders, or V twins, you got to really keep an eye on stuff because they will vibrate loose. Let's see if we can catch up on some of the other some of the other comments here. Troy says it was hot here in northern western Pennsylvania too. Went with family picking at Conneaut Lake and then the Crayford County Fair afterwards. It all Miami. Good for you. 2001, 57 throwback color. That's beautiful. It is. You are damn lucky to find it because that is gorgeous. Stuart says, I'm here. You can start. Yeah, we were waiting for you, Stuart. You notice there's no comments before you got here. Cheers, Stuart. He's always worth a comment or two. There's no doubt about it. Maddie says it's nearly end of winter here. In America money, it's 74 here at present. Winter at 74 degrees. That's Florida stuff. Jordan says Jess is definitely a ball of creative energy. Is she back home yet? And I know she was out in Chicago. Pump Wizard said today was the first day since May that I didn't ride this summer. Damn Hurricane Henry. I had to invest in some waterproof boots. Got caught in tropical depression last week. Was soaked. Hey, Dunlife says happy birthday. Cheers. Hey, I appreciate it. I really, really do. All these birthday wishes mean so much to me. Like I said, I really do love doing these live streams. I was planning on doing one once a month, and I don't know. The channel's going to go through some changes. I was talking to a few people, and YouTube is pushing these shorts, which are similar to the IGTV or the TikTok and things like that. I talked to Jess, and I also talked to Shade Tree Surgeon, and neither one of them had any success with it. And I don't know if it's worth the effort. But I want to build the channel, so I may just do it and say, let's try it. But we'll feel. Let's see. I find the single bangers aren't as bad as the V twins for bolt loosening, worse harmonic vibration. Again, any type of things when you've got something opposing or unopposed is going to vibrate. Stuart says, well, cheers. And Maddie says 74 now is 25 at 6 a.m. There you go. I'm taking you're talking Fahrenheit, correct? Because, wow. But anyway, but again, the things that I'm going to talk about are the sunglasses, and also I think that's going to be a lot of fun, particularly with people who, that's something that everybody needs, even if you have a full shield. That I think sunglasses are really important, and I love the fact that this company makes clears because some of my favorite helmets doesn't have a windscreen on the front. Now, when I'm filming, everything has a windscreen, whether it's the adventure style helmet that I got from Zox or the one I ride in the Harleys when I'm filming, which is my Biltwell lane splitter. I love that helmet. I love it to death. Is it the quietest? No, but I freaking love the helmet. So I film with that on. But the helmets that I use for when I'm just fun riding is I use the Bonanza, which is another Biltwell helmet. It's a 3/4, and then I also use what they call a Gringo, which is a full face, but it doesn't have a screen on it. So in the summertime, if I'm not filming, I want to have that air go in. Like when I'm done filming with the lane splitter, I pull the windshield or the wind visor up, and that way I can get the air going in through my helmet because it's hot and humid. We always say it's really hot. It's like working in the food truck. It's incredibly hot in the summer and incredibly cold in the winter. And people say, well, why don't you have air conditioning? It wouldn't work because the fan pulls all the heat out in the wintertime and it doesn't pull any of the heat out in the summertime. Just pulls the gases out. Jordan says, imagine living in the deep south is like living in the sun. Well, we usually go to Florida every year, take the motorcycle in the summer. This year we didn't. Guys that's been following the channel know that I screwed up my shoulder and I have to have surgery and I'm going to do it this winter. But in the meantime, which is why I didn't do the Transamerica Trail, is because I ride for more than an hour and I completely lose feeling in my entire right arm. Yikes! It's part of it, man. Don't play football when you're a kid. Troy says got to step away for a bit. Need to move some tractors before it gets too dark. Yeah, I got to go out and feed the deer yet. It's one of the things I haven't done today. I feed them back in the back and then I feed them out front too. In that way, because we had just a minute ago we had. Female and her 2 twins, and also I'm going to say he's going to be a 12-pointer. I don't think he's going to get too much more growth, but he's still covered in velvet yet. Let's see. And I love deer. I don't hunt, but I used to. But I just love having them in the backyard all the time. My Dunlife says I want to move south. I want to ride 6 to 8 months out of the year. Wait, buy a Himalayan, baby. You can ride year round. which I do. Guys, if you're new to the channel, you know that I ride all year round. The only time I won't do it if it's freezing rain and there's ice on the roads, because I don't care what you have. You can have a tank and you're going to slide in ice. So I won't do it then. But yeah, as long as I feel confident. My deer fed me tonight. I had my birthday steak tonight. My sister, she was generous enough to send me some steaks for my birthday, and they're fantastic. They're American Wagyu, and I put a big ribeye that probably weighed about 4 pounds, and I reverse seared it. And I'll tell you guys, I know it's something. This is a motorcycle channel, and I don't usually talk about cooking on it. But if you've not tried the reverse sear method, it makes everybody a professional chef. I'm telling you, it's perfect. I'll describe what it is. What I do is I like to cook my steaks to 125 degrees. So I've got a temperature probe that I stick into it. And so I season my steak the night before or really early in the morning with, I have several different blends that I make myself. But what I do is I let it dry brine, basically. Excuse me, what it's called is dry brining. And put it in the refrigerator, pull it out an hour before I'm ready to start cooking it. Heat my oven to 250 degrees max. Put the probe in there, stick it in the oven, and wait till internal temperature comes up to 125. Pull it out. It's not going to have a crust or anything like that, but it's going to be dried on the outside, which is why you dry brine it, and then put it in the oven, and then the heat outside will not sear, but it'll seal, and then you take it out, and you can either grill it, or what I did is I like to pan sear it for 2 minutes on each side at a really high temperature. Today I used bacon fat. I save all my bacon fat, and then I French it, which means that I tip the pan as it's searing and pour the fat on top of it and just let it cook even more on both sides, and then flip it and do it 2 minutes on each side, and then let it rest for 10 or 15 minutes. And with that, I'm perfectly rare to medium rare, more rare, and it's all the way through, not just the center, it's all the way through, and it is absolutely delicious. That's, if I can recommend anything that you guys need to try, is reverse searing a steak. Maddie said most people feed deer in the front feeding them from the rear could be a problem. Yeah, they still have their spots here too. Well, you're not that far away. It depends on when they drop. They seem to drop this year. We have a really tiny one, and the mom, we call her crackhead mom because, man, she looks rough. So I know it's mean, but we call her crackhead mom, and she has a baby that's, she's really tiny. We found the remains of another fawn similar size in the back, and I think it was stillborn because mom was not healthy. And mom is not healthy. And so I'm not sure if she'll make it through this winter coming up, but she did turn out a little baby. But we have 2 sets of twins and 2 or 3 other singles plus crackhead and her baby. I know that's terrible. Should be embarrassed. See, Sarcastic, my middle name. Sounds like it. Maddie Sarcastic B. What's B stand for? Oh, I know. Signify says, love some Wagyu. Dry brine is a must. Well, I brine pretty much all my meat, whether it's chicken or pork or beef or whatever it is. I wet brine the chicken and the pork, but I dry brine the steaks. And it is, without a doubt, one of the things. And I tell you, my seasoning, bastard, there you go. His message is held for review. I got to show it just because it's you, Maddie. Oh, there it is. I had to change the little setting on that. But I'll tell you what, guys, it really means a lot that everybody was in here joining me. If you have any questions about what we're doing, feel free to ask. This is the time. Message held for review. Brine your meat. This is what I live with. Signify said, waiting on Ol Man Ronin cookbook. If I do a cookbook, it'd probably be under either the Bald Chef, which is my corporation name, or My Little Kitchen, because I don't know how many people would do a Ol Man Ronin cookbook. because most of the stuff I like to talk about, and if I was going to do an Old Man Ronin cookbook, it would be like for camping cooking, which I'm going to be doing here. I know I keep promising, but I haven't done it yet. Hey, if you can't fun and have a life, it ain't worth living. It's true. I agree. But like I say, if you have any questions about the channel, what we're planning on doing, what we are doing, we gave away those. Let's see, what did Maddie say? Hey, Stuart says cheers. Exactly, cheers. We gave away those Super headlights, and it was really successful. The guys contacted me right away, and so those went out. I'm hoping they'll send pictures back, but that was a pretty good one. They're not going to do a 7-inch. They don't have one that doesn't have those halos, and to be perfectly honest with you, the halos will not work. They will not work with the Himalayan, so I'm not going to do it. Lance says, I sous vide. I used to sous vide a lot. In fact, in the restaurants and stuff, that was the best way to do it. That way you could hold them. As long as you're not holding them over 4 or 5 hours. I would never hold a steak over 4 or 5 hours sous vide because it makes them a little mushy. But I'm telling you, Lance, try the reverse sear. You won't sous vide anymore. I'm not kidding on your steaks. I'm not kidding. Put a decent and that's what I was talking about. No, and I probably won't for a while. Oh, what we got here? Old Man, hey, we got our first super chat of the night. I'll tell you what, everybody give Old Man Zombie a round of applause. That means a lot, guys. That kind of stuff is so important to a small channel like mine. It helps me grow. Until you get thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers and views, you don't make that much money on YouTube, and that's not what it's about. I'm trying to build a channel now. Yeah, cheers everybody. Cheers to Old Man Zombie. That was really, he sent us a $10 super sticker, and that means a lot, man. That really does. I thank you. But yeah, Lance, you really need to try it. And you've got my you're a Patreon, so why don't you send me a message, and I'll definitely, if I can remember. I am Old Man Ronin, by the way. But what we're going to try to do is send out some of the recipe that I do for that. I will send it to you if you're interested. And you know what? Anybody that wants the way to reverse sear a steak, email me below at oldmanronin@gmail.com, and I'll give you a recipe. I won't tell you what to season it with. That's up to you. But if you want that, just make sure you email it to me, and I'll send you how to. All you really need is now I use carbon steel pans because I'm a chef, and you're crazy to use anything else. Carbon steel is even better than cast iron, except when you're deep frying. But carbon steel is instantaneous heat, and you don't have to worry about any chemicals. So ketchup, yeah. For you guys in Louisiana, maybe, not us, baby. Hey, Iron Lady, are you still down there? See if she's listening. Maybe she's not. She's down probably watching the live stream on the big screen TV below. So it's one of those, every time we were watching, when she's at work, she does it. But barbecue is different in Australia, more beer than meat. Well, yeah, it's like that here too. You got to be, when I'm smoking stuff, that's the beer time. Iron Lady, come on up. I need something. Gil Bro says carbon steel. It does, man. I mean, I use carbon steel all the time. That is the only way to cook. And you season it similar to what you do a cast iron, but it's just such a better method of cooking. It just really transmits the heat well. And like I say, it's almost instantaneous, and it really, I just love it. I love it to death. And that's the only way. Gas or charcoal? Lump charcoal only. Gas. What do you? Are you a communist? Just teasing, because you may be. Just joking. But no, I nothing but charcoal and wood, and more rue than beef. Well, eat what you got around, man. But yeah, or crock if you've ever been keen. Pellets? No, I use real stuff. I have a stick burner. I haven't gotten any of those fancy things. I've been cooking that way, and again, Old Man Ronin, old dog new tricks. I do sous vide, But when I'm smoking stuff, I want to, it's an all day event and I want to have fun with it. So I'm using charcoal and wood, and that's the way I'm doing it. And I use lump charcoal. I don't use the processed stuff because that's, you don't know what's in the charcoal. We actually have a place in Cleveland, Ohio that's called Cleveland lump charcoal. And what they did is took some of those old steel mill plants and they turned all those old furnaces into giant charcoal manufacturing. It's pretty cool. Ronan, any way I can send a few pics of my bike to you just to show how crazy Kiwis add on bit? Yeah, Old Man Ronin at Gmail, dude. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Old Man says asking for a friend. Okay, what did you ask? Gotcha. Oh,
Here's your beer.
oh. Here she's back. She brought
Here's some nuts. Make sure they're tight.
That's my wife. And when Stuart says when he's smoking stuff, he forgets and gets paranoid. Well, you be you, man. I don't have an opinion. I could care less what you do. So, and yeah, I just gas is good if you're doing that kind of stuff. If you're in a hurry, I guess. I just don't do it. Stop using the green stuff then. Exactly. Well, guys, if you have any other questions, I really appreciate it. Like I said, if you do, seriously, you want a recipe to how to learn how to reverse sear, send me an email. Maybe I'll make a little video that I'll put on Patreon. I don't know. There's some stuff I want to do on Patreon I haven't done yet because you can't just put it up on Patreon. You got to go through a third party, which I don't understand. I could make so many comments about it just that. Well, you could. Charcoal gives flavor. Yeah, I mean it's smoke. Gas is oil or carbon. I guess it's the same, but one's oil. But God love her. Yeah, she's she's got a tough skin, man. She works with a bunch of people, so she can handle it. If she can, I'll tell you what. And this is something that I must say. If any woman can handle me, they can pretty much handle anything. I don't know if she'll agree to that or not, but we'll have to see what she says. How about going to some more Ohio historical sites like the Indian Mounds last year? Yeah, that's on the Stuart, if you're paying attention earlier, I'm not sure. My shoulder's keeping me from doing a lot of stuff right now because I have to have my shoulder rebuilt. I know, but I'm going to try, man. Jason Walker. Welcome, Jason. Says, I'm watching on the phone. Wife's on the couch when they shared nuts and tight. Something about smoking all day. Her eyebrows raised. I just kept them all. Don't tell her. Make her keep watching. She'll take your phone and look at it later. So how are you enjoying your aluminum panniers? He loves his. Andy, when what kept me away from them from the very beginning, if you remember which panniers did I decide that one of the videos I made was the high cost. That was a deal breaker because I simply couldn't afford it. I got too many other things going on. We're building the chicken coop. I've got to work on the Dyna. I've got so many other things I've got in the works. I got to get a better camera for this kind of stuff. I'm using my phone right now, and I know it's not the highest quality. And I really don't like using a GoPro when I'm doing handheld stuff. So money has always been an issue. So what I'm doing... Iron Lady says I'm her ticket to heaven, but I love the way they look. They look like they fit on the bike, and I'll tell you, I love them. That's all I'll say. I bought a cooler insert for one of the sides to test out. I'm going to buy another one. They're from a company I can't remember, Maxx or something like that. You can get them on Amazon. I think they're like $20. They're not that expensive, but they seem to be a decent cooler, and they fit, and they can use it almost like because Royal Enfield sells not in America, but they sell it over in India, and you can get them for like $120 plus shipping or including shipping. A pannier liner that's waterproof, but man, I don't know, that's kind of money. I didn't want to do that, so I bought a cooler that's waterproof. And it'll do a similar thing. Iron Lady says, I have better eyes, Maddie. Dear. Exactly. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Maddie says, I have a Krega dry bags with insert frames to keep the bags off the exhaust. Yeah, you have to ask Signified about the bags off the exhaust. See if he'll share that information. And the frames fit inside the pannier frame. That's cool. Yeah, got to do what you got to do, man. Whatever makes you happy and it makes it work. But I'm telling you, I love, love, love the aluminum panniers on mine, and I got them from India. And it's crazy because I got the guy is a fan of the channel, and when I was talking to him about it, he sold them to me really cheap, and I always like really cheap. Jason Walker says, was looking at Himalayan at Columbus dealer a few weeks ago, ended up talking about you and the channel. Oh, wow, man. Thank you, Jason. That makes me feel happy. Got a goofy smile on my face. That makes me feel good. I really, really appreciate that. Anytime we can get a mention to any dealer in any part of the world, but particularly in Columbus, it makes me feel good. Keep the beer chill, bud. I try. Well, that's why Iron Lady went and got me another one. Signified says he found out. Make sure you secure your study. I imagine he says sturdy soft bags. He found out the hard way. Yeah, I think. You melted quite a little bit of stuff on yours, didn't you? His name is Andy, by the way, guys. So everybody say hey to Andy. But it's one of the things that was a concern with mine with the Lomos. But you have to. I bought some of the rock straps that you can really latch them up when I do really hard off-road stuff. But that's going to be next year. I'll do some off-road stuff this year, but like I said, it is what it is. Sutam, thank you again. How do you pronounce it? Sutam, Gautam. I'm destroying your name, and I apologize, but welcome. I really appreciate being here. Stuart says, "Hey, Andy." There you go. And you know what's kind of cool is whether it's this or the Facebook group, fans of Ol Man Ronin, it's a way you guys can talk to each other. Even without me being around, and you know that's what the chat's for. That's what the fans of Ol Man Ronin on Facebook group's about. Sue me, you got it, man. Gotcha. And again, welcome. I appreciate it. I don't know what time it is in India. Is that where you're at? Are you in India? I'm not sure. I'm taking for granted because I can only guess. I have a lot of Indian fans. But again, we really do. If you have any other questions, like I said, I do love the Himalayan. OEM panniers. They're fantastic. And of course they on and off. You know the Lomos are good too. There's no question about it. I love the Lomos, but it's to really get them loaded and stuff. You're talking time, minutes, if that. Maddie says I agree. Soft bags have issues, but at least I can use them as a pillow. Have nice endless bungee cords. Make sure they can't exactly. India 6 in the morning. Well, good morning, Sumi. I appreciate you being here with us. Call me anything except late for dinner. Well, good. We won't. Make sure you're not late. Cocktail peanuts. Not a fan. I like the dry roasted, but those don't even taste like they used to. Stuart says, India, home of my Himalayan and my KTM 390 Adventure, and a lot of other motorcycles as well, too. You know, everybody talks about Triumph, but they're all made in Thailand now, is what I've heard. So, and they won't break your legs as bad as you drop on your bike. Boy, something I did a couple weeks ago. If you guys, I don't know if I film it very much, but my driveway is 30 degrees downhill gravel, and we've had a tremendous amount of rain here in this part of Ohio over the last month, and I got some pretty good gouges in it. Well, coming down the hill a couple weeks ago on Iron Lady and I were going for a ride. That gravel just kicked right out, and man, I went down. Holy Toledo! Twisted my ankle underneath the motorcycle. Didn't damage the bike, but goodness gracious, it was hard. It was hard. I had to yell for Iron Lady to help at least get the kickstand down as I was lifting it up because, like I say, I was on a 30-degree downslide. Had it in gear when I picked it back up, but yeah, she had. You didn't lift it off, but you did help me. I had that. It was man, it was bad because I'm thinking I broke my freaking ankle. That's what I thought, but all I did was twist it really bad because I was pinned underneath the not Himalayan. I was pinned underneath the Harley, and Road Kings are not light, and that's the second time I've dropped that bike. Frustrating. But you know that's part of life, man. If you have a motorcycle, you are going to drop it. Yeah, Well, I'm not going to argue with you. They're a lot lighter. When I drop the Hemi, I can pick it up with one hand. Yeah, I'm telling you, Stuart, I'm not exaggerating that at all. It's a steep hill. Uh, it's a steep hill, uh, and it's what 1,500 foot long. So, in fact, ground gets harder as we get older. Question is, I have a 2013 883. Would it be worth looking into a 1,200 kit? If you're gonna go to a kit, go to a hammer, get a 1250. Don't get to 1275. Um, you're not getting that much more performance. I have a 1250 hammer in mine. It is awesome. I'm telling you, it's awesome. Uh, it's well worth the money. Uh, you do it yourself. I'm taking for granted. Jason, are you planning on working on the bike yourself? Because if you are, it's well worth it. Now, my 1200 was seized, so when I was going to do the kit, I looked at both hammer. I looked at the Harley. I looked at the what do you call it, the 1250, and I looked at the 1275 hammer, and the 1250 was the way to go. I would put an oil cooler on it because you're going to run a lot hotter with a 1200, 1250 kit or a 1275 kit, even a 1200 kit. I mean, I am a firm believer in putting an oil cooler on anything over an 883. Even a stock 1200, I put an oil cooler on it just because I think it's the way to go. What were you looking to do? Like I say, if you're not familiar with hammer, look at hammer. Look it up in line down. I'm not going to have it's not in the link because never thought. Yeah, well, and most people don't. And like I said, it's critically important for air-cooled engines in particular when you got that much jump in RPM, or not RPM, but in power, and you've got an engine that you're thinning the walls down to get a little bit more cc's out of it. You're increasing the head a little bit too as well. But well, to be honest with you, when you're doing the 1250 kit, you're shaving the head down a little bit to increase compression, but you're widening the walls. But you're going to get more heat, and so definitely, it's one of the reasons why I didn't turn my motorcycle into a scrambler was the heat aspect, because the 1200 runs hot anyways. More so than an 883, and and it doesn't have an oil cooler. Well, I put an oil cooler on it, put the 1250, and that's the way to go. Check out Hammer, man. It's worth the money. That's all I'm saying. Subi says, got a question. Fire away, baby. I'll take a swig of beer. Cheers, everybody. Which engine's oil is best for the Hemi? I'm using Motul, but any I don't know if you're familiar with Motul, or if you're looking for the weight. I use 2050, pretty much exclusively in my Harleys and everything else. I would run, yeah, exactly, Motul. I run that right now. I wanted to check them out. I've never run Motul before in my life, and I seem to like it. I would prefer any air-cooled engine. I want a synthetic oil. I use Syn 3, and I also use AMSOIL, and I use both of those. Depends on which I can get the best price on. I think they're pretty much similar, but I wanted to try the Motul. The Motul seems to be good. I'm not having a problem with it, but I do have a tremendous amount of Syn 3 and also AMSOIL around the garage because I've got 5 motorcycles, so I change the oil constantly. I would fit a cooler, but you can buy a metallic oil coated valve so it switches the cooler circuit once the oil temperature is hot, faster warm up, very common. You know what? You're right, and it does. However, with me, I decided now, if you're talking about your Himalayan, that's one thing, but a Harley heats up extremely fast. So that's not a thing I worry about. Even in the coldest of winter, I can go out and fire those suckers up. Carburetor ones, nothing. I mean, 10W40, no, 20W50. 20W50. Don't go 1040. No. And fully synthetic. Yes. Slick 50. Jordan Ray said, I run Moto in my car. 200 Mobile One is in the Sporty. That's pretty cool. Again, find stuff you like. I really love the Syn 3 stuff from Harley, and I really love the AMSOIL. Let's see. Found a synthetic burnt in my 19, but semi didn't. Go figure. That's crazy. Sumi says, okay, yeah. Don't use that. You need you need something that's, especially if you're in India. I don't know, unless are you close? Are you riding in the cold weather, the Himalayas a lot? Because that's where the 10 weight would be better for you to get when you're started. But you need that. I mean, if it's like when I was spending some time in Texas and California, Southern California, I was running straight 50 weight in my Harleys because I wanted. I mean, it was hot all day and all night, and so uh, what I did was run the straight 50 because when you got that kind of temperature, and a lot of guys say, "Oh, you don't need to do that." Yeah, sometimes you do. But as far as Maddie, you retracted a message. I don't know what you meant by that. But as far as running a 1040, never in a motorcycle. That's a car thing, and I wouldn't even do it there. Car, 20W40 would be fine in a car, but 10W40, diesel engine, yeah, good. 20W50 too thick here. I run 10W40. Where you at again, Maddie? So Troy's back. Welcome back, Troy. I goofed, hit the wrong button, so we try. Okay. I prefer something. You must have a cooler temperature, Maddie. Is that correct? Got into a conversation with my Amish neighbor about tonight's Blue Moon. And that's a good beer too. Let's see, South Island, New Zealand. So you're closer to the Antarctic, so you got colder temperature. Even in the winter, man, I'm running 2050 in my Harleys, and I run 2050 in the Himalayan all winter this year. No worries whatsoever. But again, run what you like, but I would never run it. That's me personally. Let's see. South Island, New Zealand. But I hope that helped you, Sumi. Any other questions we got? We've been on an hour. I didn't expect it. Well, happy birthday to me. I want to thank again Old Man Zombie. That super chat was really, really cool. New Zealand's colder. Yeah, of course it is. Let's see. Would you change the oil on the Himalaya at 3,000 miles? Dude, I change it every 1,000 miles. And the reason I do is because I run it hot. I run off-road more than you do. The only reason I say that is not trying to be, I know Andy personally. And, but I change my oil. When I run the engine hot, heat was what breaks down viscosity. And no matter what they say. So in the Hemi, since I'm running a lot of, back trails and gravel roads, in this heat, I've been changing every 1,000 miles, and I've changed it 3 times already, besides the 300 mile. So yeah, I change oil a lot. Sumi says understood. As long as we know India's weather is hot, so yeah, 2050 would be perfect. Yeah, and again, I think it's great. In Queensland, 2050 probably work also hot most year round. And again, that's one of the things that now with my motorcycles, I don't. Some of them I winterize, like the Softail and the Sportster, winterize. Last year, because I had the Himalayan, I winterized the Road King, which is the first time I've done it since I've got it. Normally, I just ride the motorcycles year round. Hey, thanks, Stuart. Appreciate that. Tell her thank you. I really appreciate it. And she wants to have a talk with Iron Lady. Well, takes one overheat to cook that oil. Exactly. And it's useless in an air-cooled motor. That's one of the things. I change it constantly, and you got to keep an eye on stuff, and that's one of the reasons why. Well, there's an oil cooler on the Hemi, which is important, and one of the things I was shying away from, because I noticed a lot of guys are putting those the auxiliary armor around the oil cooler on the Himalayans, and I looked at them. I actually had one sent to me by Enfield Accessories, and it was taking too much surface area away from the oil cooler, in my opinion. So I sent it back. I didn't want it. I want as much air going to that as possible, which is why it's off to the side, away from the front of the engine as well too. I'm air-cooled engines. One of the things people forget is they're air-cooled. Yeah, and if you're running slow and long at intermediate RPM, like in a dirt trail where you've got a lot of RPM going, but in a low gear, you don't have a lot of air running through that cylinder, and you don't have a lot of air running through that oil cooler. So I don't want to have a lot of extra stuff blocking that. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys, back in the old days, in the wintertime, it used to get a lot colder than what it is now. Things cycle on the planet. But we used to take cardboard and put it in front of our radiators in our cars because up in the snow belt in Northeast Ohio, I mean, you'd be running -10 Fahrenheit, -15, -20 Fahrenheit, and your car wouldn't warm up worth the crap. So, and semis used to do it a lot too. We'd put a piece of cardboard in front of the radiator that would decrease the airflow to the radiator, and it wouldn't let the engine cool down as much. We did that all the time. I mean, that was a trick that you used to make your heater work better in the wintertime because it was so cold. Well, that's the same aspect when I looked at that oil cooler shield, that armor. I went, man, I don't like that. You're taking, again, I'm not running on the highway at 75 miles an hour on the Himalayan where I've got a lot of air movement. I'm running mostly 45 or 50 miles an hour or a lot less, and that engine gets hot in the summertime. So that's one of the reasons why I did it. How many guys have ever done that when you were younger, putting a piece of cardboard in front of your radiator to make sure your heaters work better in your car? Just curious, because that may be something. I'm really freaking old. We used to do it all the time. See, Maddie says, observation of mine about 25 seconds from the overheat rattle to subside on 20W, through the 10 seconds of 10W. Okay. Dougie Fresh says, just purchased my first Himalayan last week and found your channel. Happy birthday and enjoy your content. Hope you do the Trans-America Trail with a Himalayan. Yeah, we were trying to do that this year too, Dougie. Stuff happens. And yeah, welcome to the Hemi family as well. Jason Walker, LOL. I don't know if you're laughing at my radiator trick, but I can say, anybody out there ever done that? I'm curious because I don't think, maybe things are different. What's a heater? Never had them in cars when I was young. They were expensive factory option. I doubt that, Maddie. I doubt that. Air conditioners, that was true. Because back when I was a kid, the cars didn't have air conditioners. You had to buy them and hook them up underneath. There was a hump in the bottom of the what do you call it? Where the transmission sits in some of the older cars, and they used to put an additional air conditioner that would bolt there. When I was a kid, I worked at a Chevy dealership when I was 14, 15, and 16 as a wash boy and oil change guy, and or kid, and I did that in between working with my dad at the restaurant. But that's kind of fun. Ford Anglia, they were an option. That's crazy. Didn't know that. Anyway, Iron Lady said, old man had to lift his car and run with it. Hey, when back when I was a kid during the blizzard of '77, I had a 68 Volkswagen Beetle convertible I bought for $35, and it had holes in the roof and a hole in the floor and everything else. So I was running that thing, man. Blizzard of '77. Woo! We use plastic, it can last longer. Yeah, well, your winters last longer. Jason never did the cardboard trick, but I remember Dad's old VW Bug took forever to warm up. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was talking about in the blizzard of '77, man. I would run into work and just literally freezing because it was like sub 20 degrees below zero every day for like a week. Still an option in Land Rovers. Crazy. I guess that's the cultural thing in Australia we don't have here. Jason, jinx, there you go. Well, I hope everybody's really enjoying this live stream as much as I am. We've been on the channel here for an hour and 15 minutes. How many people we got? We only got 22, and that's cool. My mother years ago would move from New Orleans until Dad put an air conditioner under the dash on the Oldsmobile, dripped in the car. Yeah, and that's part of it. Sumi says, just curious to know if we have a option in the market to carry or install fridge on the Himalayan. Well, there are some small little battery powered ones. Had 24 when we first got on, yeah. But they have some all battery powered ones. But to be honest with you, just ice, dry ice, something like that, you're going to be fine. I mean, I don't know. You can have too much stuff and something like that. If you're talking about carrying things that you're going, for a long term trip, the first things that's going to go bad are the things that need to be refrigerated. I personally would much rather carry stuff like dry goods and use, basically, I carry things called life straws with me. I've done a lot of backpacking, and I don't want to say moto camping because we didn't really call it moto camping when I was a kid. We just got on a motorcycle with a tent and a bunch of bungee cords tied to our motorcycles. We went out and we stayed. And Dometic fridge, exactly. Jordan says Dometic fridge. But I never really carried stuff like that. I always did pemmican and carried it with me, or I did things like that, and dried beans, and you always have a water supply. I've always had the ability to clean water, and what I've done lately is I've got these little things called life straws that I always have in my backpack. I mean, like I say, again, guys that are new to the channel don't know that I mean, I've hunted pretty much all over North America, and we used to pack up if hunting elk in Wyoming and Colorado and Montana, and we would always pack food in, and it was never stuff that was perishable. Dried beans, you got water, you can make beans. You can pemmican, you can make a gravy or a sauce. Potatoes, we didn't carry anything that needed refrigerated. He's planning around a 2,000-kilometer trip. So I asked. I would recommend that if you're doing something like that, Sumi, that you take dry goods instead of having a refrigerator. I think that would be much better. I don't know where you're going, if there's any place that you can get ice, but I always plan for the worst and expect the best. And most times, hey, thanks, Andy. Everybody give Andy a big round of applause. He sent a 1999 super chat, and I really do appreciate it. That makes me very, very happy. Thank you. I can't say, hey, everybody, tell Andy or Signified there, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. It's a full off-road all plastic unit. Let's see what else. I'm missing something here. That's why he asked. I measure to draw a current and do some. I watched the guy ship his meals and supplies ahead and restock at the road. Yeah, and that's a good idea too. You can do a lot of stuff with those backpacking meals too, where you just add water and you got heat. As long as you have ability to cook things, which is with a little wood stove. A lot of guys are carrying those jet boils and things like that. I have things that I've been carrying when I was backpacking or hunting all the time is these little tiny stoves that burn either alcohol or wood, and I didn't need to carry any extra fuel with me unless I was doing the alcohol. And to be honest with you, I'd never carried the alcohol with me unless it was a day trip or a couple day trip. Most of the time I just depend on wood, and then I would burn and be able to cook my food there. And I mean, they're super cheap. I got to get out there and do some camping videos for you guys, because the amount of like I said, the stuff that I know from doing I mean, I have a tremendous of experience when it goes to these different little survival style things. It's kind of hey, Sig, send me money. Always trying to be in there. Jason Walker said, hey, again, thanks. We really appreciate it. But I need to do some of that stuff, because, like I said, I've got a lot of experience on how to make fire. I carry a trauma kit. I've told this story before. P38 or P51. I don't know if Stuart, if you're familiar with a P51 or not, but it's a bigger version of a P38. Trioxide tablets. I don't like the chemical of the trioxide personally. I trust the alcohol or wood better, but that's me. You got to do what you got to do. I would much rather, to start a fire, use what do you call it? Start a fire with Vaseline and cotton balls. That'll get me. And with a fire starter system, it'll get me fired up pretty quick, unless it's really wet wood or something like that. But then again, you have to know where you're at. That's where the alcohol burn comes in. If you're in a really wet environment, like in the Northwest, we used to go up into Oregon and Washington, and up there you got rain a lot, almost like the tropics. Martin Trafford, hey, how you doing, Martin? Thank you, I appreciate it for the happy birthday wishes. But we would carry the alcohol there. That way we could get a burn with the alcohol stove, the denatured alcohol, because it was very tough to find dry wood. Once you've got a fire started, then it'll eventually dry the wood out as you're burning. But to get it started, man, the alcohol it was the best way to go. Let's see, what else? Oh, I was going to tell a story about my son. He was on a trip to Alaska, and he went with a kid. And what I mentioned before is I carry a trauma kit with me, and I've cut myself a few times either on motorcycles or fishing or whatever, where I had to suture myself up, and I carry sutures with me, and luckily know how to do that kind of stuff. There's a couple great books out there that you can carry with you on a long trip like that, on survival techniques, as far as not only to identify different food sources, but also to backwoods first aid. And it's really, really important. Random outdoor channel I watched was a guy named Alfie Aesthetics, British young guy that breaks down genealogy of plants and fungus. I think at like 2,000 a year. Wow. Two times a year. Oh wow! I was gonna say 2,000. That's a lot. Yeah, I have a lot of books, but I've foraged my whole life. You guys seen that one video that we did on the morel mushrooms here back in the spring. And see you, Stuart. Take care. I appreciate it. Can't use a credit card. Wife may send you a check later. Yeah, it's in the mail. I know, and I do appreciate it, Stuart. You're always a fun time. But yeah, I like foraging for things. Like one of the things I love to do, and I even include it in some of my recipes in the food truck, is when ramps come out. I don't usually do the mushrooms; they're too expensive and too precious, so I don't do that. But ramps, one of my favorite things to do is to make tea from pine needles. It's one of my Dougie, thank you, man. Keep the content coming, and give some of this to Iron Lady to keep her happy. My wife gave me the green light to go get Himalayan, so happy wife, happy life. Everybody give Dougie Fresh a big round of applause. Thank you, Dougie. I really, really appreciate it. You really helped the channel out. Tell you that means everything to us, guys. When you get the super chats like this, especially on a live stream, it really, really means a lot. You have no idea how much it means to me to have those. Those just they make my day. They really help the channel, and it goes a long way. And he's a retired flight paramedic, so you know what I'm talking about. You got to be prepared in all situations if you know what you're doing. And that's why I really recommend buying a book if you're not familiar with doing any basic first aid. I learned a long time ago. I was a volunteer fireman for a long time back in Northeast Ohio, and that's part of the things that we had to learn how to do. So again, volunteer, wasn't a full-timer guy, but we Jordan says you can make a tea from dandelion roots as well. Highly underrated weed, and so is plantain. That big leaf stuff you see in your backyard. I'll tell you, that stuff is very, very good for you. And we forage for that all the time. And if you get a bee sting or poison ivy, you go find some plantain. And I've done this several times. If you get a bee sting when you're on a motorcycle and you're allergic, a lot of people freak out. Just pull off the side of the road and look for some plantain. It's everywhere. And just put it in your mouth and chew it. And then take that chew and rub it on that bee sting it's going to take that sting right away. It really means a lot. Dandelion. I mean, I'm a hillbilly, Jordan. We eat dandelion salad all the time, man. Yeah, I mean, truly, it's something that it's kind of a lost art, and a lot of folks don't do that kind of stuff. But yeah, dandelion is a superfood. It really, truly is, and so is a plantain. And I'm not talking about the banana-shaped thing down in Florida. I'm talking about the big green leaf. Look it up online, guys. The plantain herb. That's pretty good. Crushed jewelweed from poison ivy topically is also good. Yeah, we're getting a lot of guys in the same realm. Like I say, Farmer Troy, he would know as well too. Maddie says, ain't got time to chew, but I'll stick to my EpiPen. Well, if you're allergic, I mean, I'm not saying anybody's allergic can do that. It just takes the sting away for people who are irritated by the sting. They don't bug me. Play on words. I've been stung like, God, Iron Lady probably no more than 7, 8 times in the last couple of weeks. I don't know why. Bees have been after me for some reason. I've been hornet, wasp, honeybee, sweat bee, ground hornet. I mean, goodness gracious. We had a ground hornet nest pop up in the backyard, and of course I had to go take care of them, but Jiminy Christmas. It's been a stingy kind of year. I don't know what's up with that. But I was mentioning earlier about talking about doing some of the first aid, and I really, really recommend a first aid manual for people when you're on the road. My son went to, and this is where I was coming to I know, it's crazy. 4 years ago, stung probably 4 years ago. Oh, you're lucky, man. I don't know, maybe where I live. But my son was on a trip to Alaska, and he knows as much as I do. He's a huge caver. He loves rock crawling or climbing or whatever you call that stuff. I don't do that crap, but he does. But he was on a trip up to Alaska, and they were on a hike, and they were, I don't know how far they were away from civilization. I think it took them 7.5 hours to get to the hospital because the kid, he was a city boy, and I don't mean to pick on city boys, but he was out there and he was chopping wood between his legs, got himself in the leg, and my son luckily was able to stitch him up pretty good and get him to the nearest hospital. And using, we always carry whiskey with us, not only to drink, but we always carry whiskey as some medicine type thing, and it really means a lot, and it saved the kid's leg, to be honest with you, because he was able, because he would have been bleeding pretty up. I'll tell you something that worked. I don't know if anybody carries Quick Clot with them. Johnson says, "Hi Ron boy, happy birthday." Thank you, man. I appreciate it, and welcome to the channel. Craig says, "Got stung in the back of the neck robbing hives years ago. Wow, stings loads." Maddie says, "Decent Victorinox rescue knife is always in the toolkit." Jess likes to catch wasps on her bike and take her for a ride. Happens every year. Yeah, I've had them go up their sleeve. Some of you guys are going to freak out, but sometimes I wear shorts and a t-shirt when I ride a motorcycle. I know. Don't give me crap. But I've had them go up my leg and sting. And, the wasp, the bees are once and they're done. Get rid of you. But what do you call it? Hornet, boom, 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 boom. They'll hit you 4 or 5 times. Happens all the time. My dog's bees, Sky, jalapenos. I have a clot and a small medic kit on the bike. Actually, I always have a what do you call it? A little trauma kit. But what works really well instead of Quick Clot is, believe it or not, and it's fantastic, and I use it all the time because I have a lot of it. Cayenne pepper powder. It works perfectly. In fact, Quick Clot is based upon that. It's not going to hit. What's the Iron Lady gas ball about? Maybe she'll tell us. Cheers, everybody. I'm saying nothing about skin grafts on the arms. Well, sorry about that, man. I don't know if you had to have that done, but I had a bad motorcycle wreck back in '83. Didn't have any skin grafts, but I had a lot of road rash. Don't use Quick Clot. Like I say, I carry 2 major things. I carry cayenne pepper, and I carry super glue, and of course sutures. Shorts on a bike. I know, right? I know, but I've done it my whole life. There's a picture on Instagram of 20 years ago where I was riding one of my old Dynas, and I was getting crap because I had a sleeveless T-shirt on and no helmet. Oh, I'm sorry. First degree chemical burns to open wound. Well, they say that, and you would probably know, being a flight person, but sometimes you got to get that bleeding stopped. So I'm not sure. That's why I use the cayenne over Quick Clot. A lot of guys are hot on the Quick Clot. I do the cayenne. And Zombie, since you are a flight medic, have you ever heard of using cayenne pepper? Maddie put his down on 20 mile an hour. Yeah, you're lucky you weren't going faster. I put mine down doing 60 compact gloss. Well, of course, yeah, and it doesn't stick either. That works really well. My wreck was alcohol related. I failed to negotiate a corner at 60 mile an hour and ran into a wall. Jason Walker says, "My wife listening doesn't like to ride, and all this insect sting medical emergency wrecking talk is really selling it." Well, most of the time I was talking about the medical emergency, I was talking about camping, but stuff happens. I mean, I carry it in the car too, so add cars to that. Maybe she won't ride anymore in the car. But no, I'm just teasing. Listen, it's one of those things that this is my philosophy of life. You're not going to live forever, and nobody's getting out alive. And so I'm going to do as much fun things as I possibly can for as long as I can. And maybe when I was younger, I was a little bit more invincible. But now I take it a little bit easier, particularly with Iron Lady on the back of the bike. When I was a kid, I would, I would probably doing the crazy wheelies that everybody else was doing, only maybe more so. Like I said, I used to do a lot of crazy things in my life, and it is what it is. 60 corner must have been on a Harley. No, I was actually on a Suzuki GS 1100E S, and I was cooking it, man. And those bikes handled really well. It was in 1983. I just got the bike. I shouldn't say that. I'd had it for about 6 months, but it was a great motorcycle. Yeah, 60 mile an hour, hard corner, about a 45 degree corner, maybe 50 degree, maybe 60. I can't remember, but it was down a hill underneath a railroad trestle, and I failed. I was going too fast, failed to negotiate the corner, and went straight into the wall. But it is what it is. But you can't use that in the Army inventory. Besides, driver gets most of it. What? Yeah, I'm her bumper. Curious to know what tools you carry along ride, especially off-road, tire irons, pumps, spare tools. I can change a tire with a screwdriver. I don't need a tire iron. Just make sure it's a wide screwdriver. As far as tubes, yes. Pump, yes. Patches, yes. Tools, everything that I could possibly go wrong. Look at the Himalayan toolkit and expand on it, meaning that 2 is 1, 1 is none. 10 millimeter, 2 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 2 12 millimeter, 16 millimeter, 2 16 millimeter, things like that. Baling wire, wire ties. Story for you: when I was motorcycles that have a fuel pump, EFI, electronic fuel pump, they have a high pressure hose. That high pressure hose sometimes, no matter what brand it is going to wear and go bad, especially on a bike that's over 20 years old. And I had one happen. I had a gas leak on a high pressure line, and I always carry plastic, zip ties, and wire. And instead of calling for a tow truck, I was able to wrap enough plastic, enough zip ties, and enough wire around that hose to get me home. And that's what is really important, or get you to the nearest town instead of calling a truck. Stuff like that, and it takes my toolkit. My toolkit basically changes constantly. It depends on the motorcycle I'm on and what I'm encountering. I'm going to carry a lot more stuff when I'm in backcountry than I'm on a highway that's got access to help closer. Let's see. Let's go. Some Farmer Troy says he did a lot of stupid stuff when he was a kid. I know, right? Maddie says early GSX were gold. And I mean, like I said, my GS 1100E was before the GSXs. They were fantastic. Jordan got gypped. He played it safe and still broke his back. Man, I'm telling you, knock that ego down. It does, man. I'll tell you. Sorry you broke your back, dude. That's like hideous. I blew knees. I've had a bunch of knee surgeries, shoulder surgeries, elbow surgeries, ankle surgeries. I mean, I play hard. Don't let this pretty little face think I'm a softie, because I play hard, and I've had quite a few injuries in my life. Did I see you did not like the new? No, the exact opposite, Jason. I like the fact that they kept the nameplate. That's really important. Am I a fan of the Sportster S version? Not yet. When I say not yet, is I've never been on it, and I'm not going to judge it until I'm on it. What I don't like about it is I hate the exhaust system on it. I'm not a big fan of water-cooled engines either, but that's the wave of the future. I remember, guys, when the Ironhead went to the Evo, and people freaked out. That's never going to be a good bike again. So I'm going to let that part go. And they are promising to do a lot of different models in the Sportster line. So I'm not going to make a statement yes or no. And if you've watched the channel, you'll know that I never bad talk any motorcycle. I don't care what you ride, as long as you're right. Well, except Honda. Just kidding. like I said, Honda's kind of like the Budweiser. Like I said, I mentioned before, Budweiser's the Honda of beers, and what do you call it? Honda's the Budweiser of motorcycles. They just don't excite me. They are what they are. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just not for me. It's one of those type of things, and I goof on them, and that's the only one I'll goof on. I've had several Hondas. In fact, if you watch my Instagram page, I put a picture of the CB650 we had. Iron Lady, I don't know if you was listening. How long ago did we sell that bike? I can't remember, but it was fun, man. We had a blast on that motorcycle. We rode together on that thing everywhere. It's before she had her license. We had that motorcycle everywhere. We used to take it along the Higher River, just have a good time with it. So no, it's not that I don't like the new Sportster. I just don't know enough about it yet, and I love the fact that they didn't get rid of the nameplate. It would have hurt my feelings if they would have. If I get a puncture and that slime can't handle, it's a bad day. Carry tubes, levers, and seal carts. There you go. Biggest thing is realizing everyone on the road is an idiot. That is true. Everybody's trying to kill you. Cagers are trying to kill you. Jordan Ray, buy your clapped out old Harleys now before they all disappear. No doubt. Oh, what we got here? Sumi sent us a Honda 11 or 12. Wow, that's a long time ago. I'm not sure that amount, but man, tell Sumi, everybody, thank you. Really appreciate it. That's the hard-earned money he makes over there in India, and we really, really appreciate that. That means more than you'll ever know. I do appreciate it, Sumi. I thank you. That everybody give Sumi a big round of applause. The best bike I had for sheer terror and fun was my old H1 500 Kawi Triple. Probably the best bike I had for fun, it was pure speed, was the GS 1100 ES. It was a monster, and that thing, I mean, it just flew, and I mean, I had it up to 150, 55 miles an hour constantly. Not constantly, because it would really vibrate like crazy back in the 80s. They weren't built like they are today, but man, what a great motorcycle. I loved it, and well, I totaled it. I mean, it was all she wrote, and he goofs on Honda, but we love that bike. Yeah, you're right. And that's one of the things. Iron Knight just said he goofs on the Honda, but I loved it. I did love that bike. It was a fantastic motorcycle. The only reason why I got rid of it was because parts were near impossible to find anymore. And it wasn't a brand new bike when we got it. I mean, it was in good shape. It wasn't great shape. It was a good shape, but the pieces that were going bad were pieces that they don't have in stock anymore and were near impossible. I spent 2 years trying to find a front brake caliper, and mine was cracked. Well, since I can't say yes or no to that answer, Maddie, because there's no way to prove it, so I'll just say that Suzuki was strong, and back in the days, Hammer racing was a big part of my life as well too. That's all I'll say. I don't know if you know what that is, guys. Cheers. Time for bed. Cheers. I'll tell you what. Thanks, Troy. I appreciate it, man. Hey, guys, if you haven't checked out Farmer Troy's channel, he's a Himalayan YouTuber as well too, and he's been doing it a lot longer than I have. So he's got a lot more experience on the bike than I do. He's got some really cool content. So go check out Farmer Troy and subscribe to his channel. He's a good guy. Tell him I sent you. Sumi said thank you for that. No, thank you, Sumi. What you did was incredible, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You've made my pre-birthday live stream very, 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 very memorable. It's exactly what I wanted it to be, even more. And I got a chance to talk to all you guys and answer questions. So we've been doing it over an hour and a half. Is there any more questions before we shut her down? And again, it can be about Harleys, it can be about Hemis, it can be about Trikes, it can be about Nortons, Yamahas, Suzukis, Kawasaki's. I've pretty much had all of those motorcycles. Let's see, what brand hasn't I talked about? Oh, Rupp. I had a Rupp 100. Thanks for the plug tonight. And good light, full bloom. Yeah, exactly. I've been looking at it the last couple of nights as she was coming out, but I don't know when she peaked. I'm not sure the time exactly, but it's beautiful. Had a 91 GSX 1100G, now 96 Bandit, 12 Street Fighter, and a 2020 Himalayan. I tell you, so sport bikes, like I said, I've always had Harleys. I started riding Harleys when I was 14, but I've always had some other bikes too. And normally they were either Suzuki's or Hondas, believe it or not. And how many miles in your Hemis? Over almost 4,000 now. So maybe over 4,000. I don't know. I haven't looked. I haven't really paid that much attention to the mileage. I look at the fuel economy more than anything else. So what's that? 4,000 miles would be how many kilometers? 6,200. You can do the math better than me, Maddie. You live down there. But what I also tell you guys, another cheers. Like I say, I'm really enjoying this wheat beer that from Homestead Brewing. Again, I don't get anything from these companies. Even the sunglass company that we're talking about earlier in the video, 4K dam will be close to that by Christmas, 7,000 kilometers. That's what I thought. It's something like that. Yeah, like I say, I have other motorcycles too, Maddie. I ride the Hemi a lot, but I ride my Harleys too. My Road King, I ride more than the Hemi, believe it or not. We love that motorcycle. And then, of course, I ride the Sportster, I ride the Softail. I don't ride the Dynam because it's still on the lift. Somebody asked me the other day, don't you have a lift? You did all that work on your Himalayan. You did have a lift? I don't know, Zombie. I don't know why they... I think it's... I actually thought it was the other way around because the Beamer guys really don't like Harley guys. And I don't know... The only thing I can figure is it comes back from World War II. Because did you know that Harley Davidson actually made an opposing a motorcycle similar to a BMW, in that style? They made it during World War II. They actually brought some of the German BMWs back from the war, and Harley made a couple for the military just to see how they would work. And of course, they didn't work. But I mean, they ran well, and you can still. There's a few of them on the market. There's a channel that does a lot of stuff with the old Harleys. That they have a few of those old boxer style engines in Harley Davidson. But I don't know if that's true as much as the other way around. It's just one of those things that I think a lot of motorcycle people, they love their brand so much that they hate anything else that's not their brand, which I think is ridiculous. As long as you're on two wheels, you should love whatever is happening. And that's why we do the Wave. Let's see. Homer's reluctant audience. Well, Homer, welcome. I haven't recognized you on the channel before, but I'm glad. He just subbed after watching your year-end Hemi review. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. And welcome to the live stream. I'm really glad you're here. And like I said, we're having a fun time tonight. Celebrating my birthday a day early, but again, I normally put out a video every Wednesday and Sunday. So today I wanted to do a live stream to not only introduce you to things that are happening in the future, but also celebrate the birthday. Ronin, they call me break my wallets for a reason. Well, again, that's one motorcycle. I've ridden several of them, but I haven't. Thank you, Homer. I really appreciate it. I've never really owned one. No, the thing I get a kick out of the boxer engines more than anything else. I'm not talking about the GSXs or anything else, but the boxers is the fact that when you start them up, you get that side to side shake. You know, the Harleys you go like this because of the V twin, the big V twins. But I always get a kick out of that. And like I said, I've ridden quite a few of them. Rode them for a while. Never owned one, but I had a buddy of mine that had I had a few Beamer. He's a huge Beamer freak, and they're great motorcycles, man. I mean, German engineering, yeah, das ist gut. But like I said, I have no issue with them. I can't speak for other Harley riders. I can only speak for myself. I think a lot of the guys that you see the negative stuff from Harley riders are guys that haven't been riding very long. I think that's the biggest one. You got a blank about 2 ago riding to Connecticut. Well, who knows? You never know. Props to BMW though; they offer heritage parts catalog. You can learn, and they still build parts for almost all their motorcycles. It's crazy, which is amazing. That's a great tip there, Jordan. The difference between that and Harley Davidson is aftermarket guys do the same thing because you can literally build a Harley Davidson without one single official Harley Davidson part on it from the frame up. It's crazy. No other company in the world's like that. Ever ride a Moto Guzzi? Yes. I spent some time in Italy years ago and rode a Mutu and a Benelli and some of those other ones. Never owned one. I'm leaving Wednesday for Cleveland, Ohio to help my friend and gravel around my 50th anniversary of that event. Cleves, Ohio. Is it Cleves or Cleveland? Probably Cleves. Great respect for a bike company that makes a boxer with an auto-retractable side stand. Start one on a stand and watch it hit the deck. Fires up, happens, stands, retracts, and then what happened? Again, don't know about that, but that's pretty cool. I ride the K1600 Grand America. Cleves, gotcha. I'm not sure where in Ohio that is. You'd have to tell me. I'm not familiar with that area. So, welcome to Ohio. MSN Adventure said, "Happy birthday, new Himalayan owner here, and loving your channel. Just saw you were on, so I'm going to go back to the beginning and live stream." Well, good. Again, we've been talking about a lot of different things, and I really appreciate that you stopped in and said, "Hey." I'm not sure how long we're going to. Not going to. Oh, you're down there. It's on Indiana, so you're going to be down by White Oak. That's a pretty nice area down there. There's some decent roads in the Ohio side, heading towards Miamisburg. So you'll enjoy that. I didn't know where Cleves was. Maybe I did. I just couldn't remember because I'm old and stuff. But I do appreciate MSM Adventures, and I'm glad and welcome to the Himalayan family. Like I said, we love all motorcycles here, no matter what it is. Well, maybe not Honda. Just teasing. Like I said, I'm actually looking at a Honda. Here's a couple old ones. I really love the old looking Hondas. I like them as much as I do the old looking Triumphs. Those are two motorcycles that actually three. I love the Nortons too, but they're way crazy expensive. The Nortons, you can't even get into a used one anymore. BSA is another one. I love the British look, and the Japanese kind of did the similar type of thing there. Ohio subs, watch the Pathfinder videos. Great routes in Licking County. It's true. We have some fantastic routes over here in Licking County, and of course the Windy Nine down in Athens is fantastic. Sumi, dude, I really appreciate you. You mean a lot. I thank you for the super chat, and I'm probably sure you're going to work, and I have a good day at work, and enjoy yourself. Thank you again. Thank you. Would it be okay to plug my YouTube channel? Lance, I didn't know you had one, man. So go ahead. Sumi said, "Keep enjoying your drink." Thank you. I will. Cheers. My bud is in Aurora, Indiana. So beautiful here on the Ohio River. I definitely recommend finding it on a journey. I grew up on the banks of the Tuscarawas River, which runs actually into the Ohio after it becomes the Muskingum down in outside of Zanesville, Ohio, and it's just beautiful area. All of the Ohio River Basin and up into the foothills of the Appalachians are just gorgeous riding, which is why one of the reasons why I love living where I live right now is because we have some of the best motorcycle roads in the country here. And people don't think so. They don't think of Ohio, but we've got a tremendous number of people coming from Michigan and New York and Pennsylvania. And there's some good riding in Pennsylvania too. I'm not going to say that's not, but they come down to Southeast Ohio. It's just beautiful. Maddie, just remember, never drink and drive. You could hit a bump and spill it. It's Adventure 50 on YouTube. You know what, Lance? Go ahead and put your regular, like a link, HTTPS. Go ahead and copy it on the thing and put it down there. That way people can hit it right away and go to it. That way it'll help you out a little bit better. I didn't even know you had a channel, brother. So shame on me. You have excellent roads here in upstate New York. Yeah, you do. Now, are you on the eastern side or the western side of New York? Because I used to do a lot of traveling over near, what's the name of that place? Over near Lake Placid and then in Vermont. Some beautiful places over there. I'm from York, PA, Harleytown. I got you. York, Pennsylvania, Harleytown. Let's see where we at. Again, what part, Pump Wizard, do you live in New York, upstate New York? Is it, like I said, the western or the eastern? Like I said, I used to go to, well, you had to go through the Finger Lakes and all the way over there, Lake Oneida. I spent a lot of time on the, when I was fishing tournaments up on the northeastern Catskills. Yeah, beautiful area, man. Of course, higher mountains there than we have in Ohio. But like I said, we have a tremendous number of roads that are just fantastic. But the St. Lawrence River, and then all the way over to you get down to the Poconos and places like that. Just beautiful, that part of New York, Catskills, the whole 9 yards. So here's a Harley factory in New York. Yep, I thought they were closing that. I may be wrong. I thought they were. That's where they were building some of the Dynas and stuff years ago, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong on that. I'm not an expert. I just played one on YouTube. Man, I'm telling you what, this wheat beer is going down good. Again, if you guys are curious, it's a Homestead Brewing Company in Heath, Ohio. And it's their sun-kissed wheat. Really good beer. Iron Lady, you still on? Not sure if she still here or not. But this has been a blast, guys. I really do appreciate it. I want to go over this for you guys that are new to the channel and also new to the live stream. The Adirondacks Farms and Old Barns of Sussex County, New Jersey. Awesome. We're doing a special cooperation. It's not a sponsorship. I'm not getting any money or anything like that. But with a company called Maxx Eyewear. And there's going to be a link in the description below that we're going to be giving away some of these sunglasses. Those are impact resistant, made specifically for motorcycle riders. They make clear as a... Why, is it gone? Iron Lady said, that was my beer. Is it gone? Because if it's not, I need to fill up. Lake George, okay. But these sunglasses are, like I said, they're impact resistant, they're scratch resistant, they're made for motorcycles, they make clears in a bunch of different lenses and different configurations. And we're going to be giving some of these away. And how you're going to do it, on my, it's gone, shame on it. Shame on me. Well, I guess we got the last of it. But what I want you to notice is on, not necessarily this video, because, well, maybe you can. See in the left-hand corner, excuse me, right-hand corner if you're looking at it on the screen, it says, hey, you, subscribe. Do you guys see that down there? Where you can hit the button and it'll take you to my subscribe. Well, normally on the other side, there's, and I can't do it with a live stream, but normally on the other side, there's a watermark that I put on there. And it just says Ol Man Ronin. But once in a while, it'll say, if you notice this, contact me. And what that does is if you send me an email, as you notice that, I'll send you something pretty cool. Well, starting in September, it's going to have the same thing, and it'll be throughout. I'm not going to tell you when it's going to be on, and it won't be on every video, but it'll be on several videos. And if you see that and you contact me, and we pick you as a winner, we're going to pick one out of each time that we have one of those on. And then the factory at the Maxx Motorcycle or Maxx Eyewear is going to send you a care package full of some pretty cool stuff from their eyewear department. And not only do they make the motorcycle sunglasses, but they also make fashion glasses for women. They make sporting glasses too, baseball, golf, fishing in particular, and a bunch of other different stuff. They're really a cool sunglass company, and they're relatively inexpensive, which makes it even better. It's not one of those things you're going to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on. I think these retail in these particular brand, it's one of the pairs we're going to be giving away, but they retail on Amazon for under $30. So they're well worth it. And there's the other brand that their sister company is called Piranha, which I've been wearing for years. They're a fantastic company as well too. It's same thing, but that's going to be something we're going to do to give back to the audience. And how we're going to do it, like I said, you're going to notice a little thing in the corner. It'll have a little Ol Man Ronin in a different part of the video. We're not going to tell you when it's going to pop up or where it's going to pop up, but it'll pop up and you contact me, and boom, if we pick you as a winner, you got it. Damn it, gotta go. Siren's gone off. Everybody's having fun. Someone poke Ronin so he doesn't go to sleep. Thanks, Maddie. Take care. Pump Wizard, if you're ever back, I'll ride with you. There you go. You got, again, oop, we shut down and went back off. Now we're back on again. Apparently we popped off for a half a second there. May have been a glitch in the server. Well, if there are any other questions you guys have for Ol Man Ronin tonight, I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed doing this today. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for all your info you put out there. Christopher, I don't recognize you. I hope you're a new subscriber. If you are, I really, really, really thank you for joining the live stream here. You came in on the late side because we're getting ready. We're going to take it right to, we got 8 minutes left. We're going to turn it off at 2 hours because we've been on for, well, since 8. And it's been a blast. Had a few pop off. We're down to 17 now. But you know what? We've had a really good time. And I hope everybody's enjoyed this. Because I have. I've enjoyed my beer. I've enjoyed talking to you, talking Himleys, Harleys, stuff, and basically things that are happening in life in general. So, any other questions before we kind of wind her down? I'll take another drink while I'm waiting. I will. At 8, kids hard to catch stuff live. I get it. You have 8 kids. How do you have time to ride? The live streams are always fun. They surely are. And Lance, like I said, since you have a channel, man, put the URL link to it. That way people can find it easier. They're a lot of fun. Let's see. Do I have any comments? No. It's kind of funny. We hit 9,000 subscribers here this last week, and I was really tickled with that. I'm on my way to 10,000 now, and that's a big benchmark for me. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys for getting me there, because without you, I couldn't do this. This is without a doubt. This is why I do this, is for talking to you guys and having a good time and drinking beer, talking motorcycles. What else is there in life? Thank you for your time with. You know what? It means a lot to me. Like I said, when I was fishing tournaments back in the late 80s, 90s, and then the early 2000s, one of the most fun I ever had, besides the actual fishing. I mean, that's what it's like motorcycles. That's what it's all about. And back then it was fishing. That's what it's all about. But the most fun for me is talking to people. I was doing seminars all over the country. I spoke in Japan, I spoke in South Africa, and back in the day it was Zimbabwe. We were able to speak there because there's a lot of bass fishing going on there as well too. But that's one of the things that I used to love to do, is actually contact and get to know and get to meet people from all over the country, and obviously all over the world, and share my passion. And one of my passions have always been motorcycles. Like I said, fishing is cooking, and these things have been part of my life, and they just make me so happy. And I'm able to share with you and get enjoyment out of meeting new friends and having good times. And like I said, there may be something happening in the world as far as for motorcycles. For me personally, I can't say it yet, but you guys will. I will definitely do a live stream and announce that when it happens. I've been asked to do this, but it's only been asked. There's no paper signed or anything like that. So if that happens, it'll be a huge step. It'll be like me starting my bass tournament fishing career all over again. And it's kind of the way I'm looking at this as well too. I'm starting my motorcycle career all over again, even though, because back in the day, there was no YouTube for fishing, which I could have used. But this gives me the opportunity to talk to you guys and get to meet you, similar to what I did at the seminars for fishing. So it means a tremendous amount. Big Hoss, hey, welcome, Big Hoss. I don't recognize your name on there, so welcome to the channel. What's your favorite kind of food to cook? I heard you're a pretty good chef. Well, I'm known for my Italian. I really love cooking Italian food, but I like cooking a lot of ethnic foods. I really love soul food. The wife and I were talking about that the other day, Iron Lady and I really love cooking soul food as well too. What I like to do, and when we go on trips, is we go to places, and it's a combination of motorcycle food trips, and it's where I can expand my horizons. I spent some time in Italy when I was a kid, and I learned how to cook, and that's one of the things that I'm really good at it. And if anything, I'm in Iron Lady. You can mention this. If not, I'm a very good saucier, and so I can take average cuts of meat or other proteins, or vegetables, and make them flour, and that's basically what we're all about. That's what I like to do. But yeah, I've been told my Italian's on point. Christopher says, each day, 2007 RE Bullet 500 to work 70 mil, and we show your vehicles at work on 100-inch TV. Always see that. You're kidding me. Well, fantastic, man. That's, wow. Subscribe, baby. Get them all. I'll tell you what. Do you think the cost of bikes are going to go back down? I think everything's going to go up for a while. I don't think there's going to be anything's going to be cheap. Ossobuco, ask Iron Lady about my Ossobuco. I actually qualified for a cooking show back. It was before I was walking. was it 2014, Iron Lady, 2013? You're better on dates than I am. Where where a television cooking show where I made ossobuco for a world famous chef television program, and I actually turned the show down because they wanted too much money for 5 years in a contract. But that's another story altogether. But yeah, I served them ossobuco, and they went absolutely phenomenal, and sent me a 20. How thick was that contract? Like that? Holy Toledo! It just wasn't worth it. Had to give up 25% of my income for. I was almost famous with his awesome. Yeah, but I didn't want to give up 25% of my income for 5 years, and that's what it took. That was crazy. That was a day, man. I'll tell you what, that was a day. We were sitting there waiting for the judges to come through, and we had all the big name chefs and everything else going by, and they were going, "My God, that is the best ossobuco they ever had in their life." And like I said, it's a major television show, and I'll let that go. You know what? Those days are done, man. I'm trying to wean myself away from cooking and more into the motorcycle world because I've been doing it since I'm 11. This is what I'm doing for a living right now. And the food truck, I'm only working a limited amount of days now because number one, it's busting my ass, and I make my own pastrami, which is what we're known for, and it takes to do it right. A good pastrami will take 4 to 6 weeks. And so I'm constantly working, trying to keep up. And then all the other dishes that I do too. Plus, I make my own sauces, obviously. I grind my own spices. I make my own spice blends. If we start talking into that stuff, it's going to take up another 2 hours of show. But it is what it is. But yeah, that we're really I've had people tell me that come right out of New York City that just went to some of the most famous, pastrami joints in the country and saying mine's better. But I'll let other people tell you that. I don't know if Jordan's on here or not, but he can answer that question. You need to be. I would love to hear that story. Oh, well, I guess I kind of told you a little bit. But again, this is a motorcycle channel. I mean, I don't want to. I don't know how that would react, and I don't want to. Everybody says niche, niche, niche. You have to stick with your niche. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. Every town needs a motorcycle mechanic. 90 to 100 bucks plus an hour plus. Well, you're right, but I mean, again, that's something that I'm having fun now. For the first time in a long time, I'm having a blast, and it's hard turning out videos 2 a week. It takes a lot of time. Iron Lady just nailed it. Jordan just said one word delicious. We do the Ronin retreats, guys, next year. That'd be a great fireside chat. I would never want to occupy everybody's talk, but everybody has stories, and I like to hear them all. Sometimes I just like to listen. That's my favorite thing to do. Learn and listen. Well, guys, we've hit 10 o'clock. So I want to ask one more time, any more questions, and we're going to call it a night. We've been on for 2 hours. This is the longest live stream I've ever done, which makes me extremely happy. Signified, I'm in for the Ronin retreat. Yeah, I think it'll be kind of fun. I'm in negotiations with a couple different places to hold it at, and we'll see where that goes. Happy birthday, old man. Great live chat once again. Thank you, Pump Wizard. I really appreciate you guys, each and every one of you, the super chatters, the Sumis, the zombie, is that how you say it, zombie? And of course, Andy, I really appreciate the super chats, guys. That means so much. I tell you what, guys, you've made my birthday extra special. The only thing will make it better is a kiss from Iron Lady a little bit later. Until next time, guys, ride safe and keep her on 2 wheels, baby.